All right, Tim here with Fit to the Core. Today we're going to do our movement tip of the week, which is going to be overhead pressing. Today I got Teresa Tabacco here, a longtime Fit to the Core member. We're going to go over the proper setup for the overhead press, common mistakes for the overhead press, and why it's important, and the benefits of performing this exercise correctly compared to performing it incorrectly. So what I'm going to first have her do is give you a side view of what we're looking for here. So she's going to face me. What we want to do is I want to get her feet close together because I want her to feel the tension all the way from the ground up through her legs, kind of smashing everything. But what she's going to do with her feet, she's actually going to grip her feet into the ground, and then she's also going to kind of tear the floor apart with her feet because everything is going to come up from our feet. This is where we get force, but this also helps to engage our core. So she's going to bring her fists up. So what I want you to think about here is when you do front planks, we do front planks not with just in consideration to drain the core. We do our front planks to make sure that we are in good finishing positions and good stable positions when we're pressing, doing push-ups, pulls, finishing deadlifts and squats, etc. So today we're going to just basically show you a standing plank position. So when she's in this position, she's got her feet gripping the ground, ripping the floor apart. We're also going to have her in this plank position. So if we were in a plank on the ground, she would actually have her hands gripping the ground. But today what I'm going to do, because we're going to show you a sandbag overhead press, she would have handles in her hands. But if I push down into her fist, I'm creating total body tension here. So we're going to get her lats all the way through her core, to her hips, all the way down to her feet. She's going to be solid as a rock here so she can complete the press. So what she's going to do with the sandbag is she'll be pulling the sandbag apart to create that tension. So with that, I can get her pushing into my hands like she's pulling the bag apart. So I know she's going to be stable here. So I'm going to have her face you now. So we got this nice stable position where she's able to resist. And you notice from the side view, she wasn't arching into it. I can also tell she's stiff if I touch her shoulders and I get a nice stiff, no sponginess. So if she relaxes and she's not getting what I want, you're going to see how she starts to compensate into her lower back. So we're going to have it facing again. So now we got this tension. So whether it's a kettlebell, dumbbell, whatever it is, today we're showing a double arm press and we'll be using the sandbag in a second. It all starts from the ground. She's going to grip the ground and push from the ground. She's got her butt tucked so her ribs are locked in. Her core is stabilized. With the bag in her hand, she's going to be pulling that bag apart, engaging her lats, which help to engage both sides of the body, creating a nice stiff pillar, you might say, just stiff body here. So I'm going to show you when she presses overhead as she's pulling this bag, she's driving her feet down into the ground. She's going to start to press up over her head, and we're going to maintain our core stability here. Her hips, everything stays nice and neutral, and then she's going to pull down, actively pull down like she's doing a pull-up. Okay, so she's going to do one more good one here. And she's going to pull it down, getting her lats engaged, so again, we keep the whole body stabilized. So now we're going to show you the common compensation here. So most people are going to overhead press without this stability. They're going to arch their lower back, and it looks like it's a good press, but once we get her locked in where she should be, you're going to see where her arms really end up. The error that most people make are using their lower back. I'll be able to push on her, and you'll see her falling over, and then I'm going to do it from the front view here. When she presses up with no stability and she allows her feet are no, I do the wrong way. The feet are no longer active, her lower back is hyperextended, and now I can move her all kinds of places. We'll get her back into the right position where she's gripping her feet, ripping the floor apart, tucking her butt, getting the lats engaged. Now when she does the gripping of the feet and tearing the floor apart, I'm not going to be able to push her in either direction here. So we're going to show you the correct way now. I'm going to get her on the bag, so face this direction. So as you can see, the great thing about these sandbags is we got these horizontal handles. She's going to get that tension now, and we're going to pull it all the way down to your chest, right there. So now she's going to be pulling these handles apart, creating the same tension from the feet up. Remember, grip the feet, tear the floor apart, get the butt tucked, which actually gripping the feet will help with. Her ribs are down, core's locked in, lats engaged. Now she's going to pull the back, create that tension, and she's going to push from driving down into the ground. Finish into a nice tall plank, continuing with that core stability. She's going to pull it down like she's doing a pull down, like she's doing basically a pull up or a pull down, engaging and keeping her body stiff. She's going to do one more for me, and then we're going to show you from the front view. So she's going to press up. She's creating that tension through her whole body, finishing in her upper back here, and she's going to pull it back down, actively pulling down so we're keeping everything engaged. Now she's going to face the mirror, and we'll just show it from the front side. She's pulling the handles apart, gripping the feet, tearing the floor apart, tucking the butt, driving. She's pushing down into the ground to push up. Then she's gonna pull it back down, creating that tension, keeping everything nice and locked in, keeping that core engaged. Again, the compensatory, if you compensate and use your lower back, which many people do on this movement, you first have to see if you even have correct shoulder flexion and able to keep your core engaged while you do an overhead press or even an overhead pull. But the key is the ground, keeping the feet engaged. But you also have to understand when we're teaching planks, she's in a standing plank doing this press, using the ground for tension and creating tension with the bag, which is gonna link her upper body to her lower body, creating that stiffness so she can perform this total body movement safely and correctly. So when this is done correctly, not only is it gonna help improve your shoulder health, it's gonna help you feel better, it's gonna definitely help you get stronger, and it's gonna help you burn a lot more fat because you're gonna have a lot more muscles engaged, which is gonna give you a really good metabolic boost. So I wanna thank Teresa today for showing us how to perform this overhead press, and we'll look forward next time when we have our next movement tip of the week.